still? It's still going? I got sound on this end. Where's you guys? What's going on? Everything's turned on. Please tell me it's working. Okay, what the fuck? Still no sound. Oh, okay, good, good. I was about to ask you guys if it came in. I swear to God. Murphy came in. He slapped me on the face with his boner. I swear. And I did not enjoy any bit of that at all. I'll tell you that much. Holy crap. What the hell is going on? And then went sound. Yeah, I don't know. I think the mute might have been on over here. I reset everything really quick. So, you know, I'm not going to do the intro again. I've done it twice already. So I'm just going to.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Nominal enough where I need a drink now. I'm starting to wish this was beer. There isn't some in the fridge, but that's actually for company. So, Thank you, everybody, for being here. Very much appreciated. And I really don't have much on notes. It has been an unbelievably busy week. So, and I should have actually loaded the screen. And I got this one. So thank you guys. You know you're awesome. If you guys weren't so awesome, you wouldn't be here. You'd be off watching someone else. Anyway, first things first, I want to say that if you guys didn't know, Hospitality Part 10 did drop today. If you haven't gone over it, I can't say too much. You guys know we don't do spoilers here. So since it didn't drop at midnight last night, I just finally got it done. Again, been busy. But it's done. It's out. It's there. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yes, you do play whack-a-mole. And that picture you see actually played in a little bit, but you'll have to actually listen to it. Why? All right. I will say this. I don't have the thumbnail made for Something Familiar, Part 11. But guess what? It is written. I just finished it up this afternoon. And it took a while. It took a few days just because, again, it's the busy season, guys. I do apologize. I do have to say this, guys. If you have multiple named characters, make sure you do this. Write down who they are, and in particular for this story, what they are, okay? There may or may not be, I don't know, a cat girl. There may or may not be an orc or two. There may or may not be a dryad in there. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I do a lot of introduction to personnel in this chapter, and that's as close to a spoiler as you're going to get. As far as that goes, I know you guys kind of like this series. That's why I keep going with it, because you guys keep asking. So it is what it is. As far as timing, I originally wanted to get it out once a week, and you know what they say about the best laid plans. So let me reorganize here. Everything's a mess. It's a good thing you guys can't see the desk in front of me. It's an absolute shit show. However, I do have to say tomorrow morning, hopefully nothing jumps up into my face tomorrow, and I'm able to, I haven't even made the thumbnail yet. Once I make the thumbnail, it's putting this together. And I should have everything done by noon tomorrow. Should. I'm not promising anything I cannot keep. It's just bad show. All right. And just so you know, it's roughly 12 pages long. So we'll see how that comes out. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe it's 11. It is what it is. So since I don't have much to talk about on the channel, let's jump into the other stuff. First things first. Make sure you guys, there it is. There it is. Make sure you guys are still subscribed just in case. Guys, I'm bleeding subscribers like crazy, but that's kind of my fault for not being able to get stuff out as much as I want, or at least I should. And it looks like most everybody's here. So, let's start with this before I go too far. Oh, did it load? Yes. Okay. Just so you know, a certain person sent me some videos. So since we're jumping over, let's still go into our first one. That's why right there, if you're going to actually do that type of armor warfare on I believe that's War Thunder. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. But if it's not, I apologize. Any case, make sure, one, you don't stay static, not for very long. You just like we do with the Bradleys and the tanks, you get up on the berm, you take a shot, and you back the fuck away to get out of the, because as soon as you shoot, they're gonna know where you are. In these video games, it's a whole lot easier to see if you're static. So, or should I say, where is it? Nope, damn it, I didn't load that one. I did have one that is so. But yeah, if that's what you guys gonna do, and actually my nephew is now looking into armor as something he might do in the army, and I'm like, dude, have you watched anything from Ukraine? It honestly scares the shit out of me because I know how bad it is. I was actually one of the guys out there. They were testing drones on us, and they said, defeat this weapon system, and we could. The thing is, I'm infantry. I was on my feet. If you're every single time, the tanks just got friggin' slammed. And
hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Something is right. We got a $10 super chat from Brian Kemp, our big man on the bike. And let me write this down. He says, enjoying the stories. Well, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're enjoying them. And I do have to say this. I do have a few notes on this. Let's see. You already know it's a busy season. I'm not going to hit on that too much. Up next, once I'm done recording this. What the fuck? What's going on? I got a $10 super sticker from Erica Gem. So, of course, I have to stop and say thank you very much to everybody who sent something in. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. And back to what I was saying. Up next, like I promised, it is the submissions. I have to go into my emails. If you guys sent me anything, I'm going to be going through every single one of them, and I'm going to knock those out. As long as I can do something with them, I'm going to do something with them. And you guys, being the absolutely awesome people that you are, I am thinking, hint, hint, that you guys, you need to have your stuff brought in. I got some of it up here on top of the computer, but I got to go through it all really quick. Now, I do have to also say this. For those of you, everybody who's been bothering me about ambush predators, I refuse to do it until the busy season is over because I have to put a lot behind it. And if I don't, then I'm going to.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And I refuse to give you guys shit on a series that you guys love so much. Now, I do also have to say there's a $20 super sticker from the SS Demon, or should I say, where is it?
The SS Demon.
And thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. And of course, since I got something familiar coming out, you got a succubus on your little thumbnail thing there. Kind of works together. But yeah, as far as the very intense series go, now the kicker is with ambush predators, what I'm going to do, I'm not just going to go over my notes. I'm going to re-listen to the entire series, and I'm going to be writing down every little detail so I can do it right. Okay, there's a very, very in-depth series. You'd be surprised for something familiar how many times I have to go back in my notes and verify something before I can continue. That's one of the reasons, because it's very, very, very detail-oriented. Unlike some of the other ones where I can gloss over a bunch, you know, you guys don't need know all the logistics, tiny little bits. For something like this, you kind of do. Anyway, I misspelled that. Okay. Also, let's see down here. I do have to say I'm gonna have to siphon some time to work on my other channel because the kicker. Some of you watch my other channel now. Fair warning: there's some political and social opinions in there that you might not like. Okay, it's straightforward, kick you in the nuts type stuff. It is not escapism. It's reality punching you right in the scrotes. or in Erica's case, the ovaries. And so fair warning, that may not be yours, but I am working on it. I got 2 videos recorded, but I have a lot of editing to do for those 2 videos. It's going to take me all day. No shit, from except for stopping for meals and to take care of a couple errands. It's all it's got to focus on. So yeah. All right, that's enough of me bitching on that. I really did not have a lot of notes, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the next video right here, and I'm going to go, it's this one. Now, if you watch close on that one, you could actually see that someone else was helping him out. And how's that song go? That's fucking teamwork. Yeah, and that's how you win. It's amazing how many people go to these games and just think they're God's gift to the game and think they can win the whole thing themselves, and they cost everybody the match. It annoys me to no end, and that's why I used to love playing MechWarrior Online. And I originally thought about my channel being a MechWarrior Online channel. Maybe I should have. I would have got more subscribers. Maybe. I don't know. It's a little saturated right now. But honestly, a lot of those guys kind of tick me off, because what I would have done specifically is go over, hey, I'm in my, say, Jaeger mech, and I'm watching these guys go. You hear me giving the, hey, they're over this way, flank left, flank right, over here, take fire at, Echo 4, whatever it might be. And yeah, see if they actually listen, because teamwork is how you win. Teamwork makes the dream work and all that other fun shit, right? All right, let me get back, put the comments back up so I can see. All right, what the? Oh, I don't have another button, so I'm just going to have to put this one. As we have a $10 super chat from MTF Guard, and I just pulled something in my neck on that one. And he says, here you go. Hope you like the Battlefield and War Thunder clips I sent. Yeah, we're still going through them. We got through 2 already there, Guard. And let me get you on here. And I got plenty of images from Guard. Remember, guys, for your shout out, if you want something specific, email it to me. Do not try to send it via the Discord. I've tried. Out of everything, I got 1 picture to work. And for, I think, Erica, if you're listening, guess what? It was the landmine one that you commented on. And if I, eventually I'll probably try to get that pulled up here. Anyway, where was I? Okay. On to what's going on around. And this is why originally everybody here was kind of a writer, liked good stories and stuff like that. How come, I pose this question, how come the video game industry is full of people who hate what they're writing for? I do wonder that. Why do they hate it so fucking much? I don't understand it. I got a list here of literally woke games. I'm going to list them off. These are the ones that are so woke, the pre-orders have actually stopped. Okay, there's Elders, and it's amazing how many of these are sequels. So they're actually pissing on an established series and just turning it over, pulling its pants down, and literally going shoulder deep, claiming it's a prostate check. And I'm just like, no. That's not how it goes. You got Elder Scrolls 6, Assassin's Creed Shadows, but that one came out a while ago. They're trying to re-release it. Metal Gear, the new Metal Gear that came out. I don't have the number here. Outer World 2. Tales of Xillia, and I believe that's the only one that's the first one out the gate. And then Vampire Bloodlines, I think it's either 2 or 3. I didn't write the number down. All these, all but one of those is an actual series, and they're just killing them. What are they doing? What? Can't you just make a decent game? I mean, how do I put this? Over in Japan, they learned you make sure the ladies look like ladies for one, and they're going to be so much better. You're going to get more people going. I mean, I already put hold on. I'll put Chun-Li back on here. This is pretty much the way they got her designed now. This is an older CGI video. It's actually kind of not done great. It could have used some buffing around the butt. But at least it drew people in. It's what everybody wanted. They wanted a Street Fighter game. They wanted the pretty girls. They wanted the guys who are all roided out to the point where their friggin' jewels shrivel up like sun-dried tomatoes and shit. But we don't get that. And it's, as somebody who used to be a video game addict, it just hurts me. It physically hurts me to see these. I mean, you got this, I think they're bringing out Star Wars Battlefront 3, and it's bringing in a little bit of hope, but they've only showed a little bit of gameplay, so we'll see how it goes. The Battlefront 2 for Xbox One sucked so bad. For the money you got, it was only worth like, what, 3-4 hours worth of gameplay? That's not worth the money you pay for it. Basically, you got to have $1 per day of enjoyment at minimum. And they want to charge $80 to $100 per game. And you don't even own a physical copy, and they can shut it off whenever the hell they feel like it. Find the darkest part of my ass and kiss it repeatedly. That's what I say to them. But yeah, why wokeify all these? I looked at one of these. This Tale of Zelia. The original main character was a female. Now, instead of something that looks decent, she looks like she ate the whole cast and is turned into her dialogue has made her turn into a total bitch. Same thing with Vampire Bloodlines. I was like, what the hell? Metal Gear, they're trying to swap folks out. It's just, you know what? I'm going to leave these one alone. I'm going to drop down here to Battlefield 6. Now, it's not getting the best reviews, which surprises me. Okay, we're getting Battlefield clips here and some War Thunder clips, which is great. I'm going to show another. I got 2 more to go. They were actually sent over, and I got all the rest they're still here on StreamYards. Just waiting. The only thing it doesn't hold is the stills that I show you guys, because, well, this thing does not like to have more than a few stills, which I still, no pun intended, don't understand. All right. But the reason why I think they're catching a lot of flack has nothing to do with the quality of the game, which is sad. Because if you make a good game, I expect people to play it. If I was still a gamer, I would want to play it too. However, they really, Demon, it's cheaters galore. Well, that might explain some of the bad reviews. But me personally, the canceling of all the pre-orders, I personally think has a lot to do with the fact that the Battlefield 5 was wokeified so bad, they pushed off their audience. I know people who will, myself included, who will never sit and watch an entire football game ever again because they pissed us off. And you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them up the ass with a freaking pile driver. You know what? They'd probably enjoy that. Never mind. But it's just, yeah, it's irritating. It is beyond irritating to see a good series go to shit. And by the way, guys, do me a favor. If I'm doing bad in a series, please straighten my ass out. Please, I'm begging you. Just make sure I don't make shit. If I'm going off the rails, tell me where I'm going off the rails, please, so I can fix it. I don't like making bad content. This is why me and a bunch of you, actually, we got several folks here who can write really well. And you guys, I've read some of your stuff. You're getting better. You're getting a lot better. And it's just, it just gets on my nerves why they don't just get a hold of us. Like I said, they could get us over there 3 months. We could not get everything lined up exactly perfect. They don't have to change anything as far as storyline, and we will make sure it's not going to kill them on the special effects, or they need to spend another 500 million getting all these set designs. We can do it right. And for 3 months, pay our room and board, pay us an extra 10 grand per month that we're working, and then we fuck off, and you don't have to worry about us for a couple of years. And then you just enjoy the millions of dollars that roll in. Me personally, I wouldn't even ask for the rights to, the merchandising, where they make all the extra money. I just want to make a good product. I have nothing to do with merchandising. I write. So why don't they get a hold of us? I don't know. Maybe my complexion's off. I don't know. So anyways, there's still a whole, like I was saying, the gamers fighting the developers for especially those games because everything's woke. They're like, well, you have to buy it to prove that you're a good person. Lick my nuts. Ugh. I don't mean to curse this much, guys. It's getting on my nerves. It really is. All right. On to the movies. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the girl who played Elsa, whatever, in The Last of Us, the live action. They're trying to get her to play Spider-Man. Actually, she's asking to play Spider-Man. Rattle that one around in your brain for a while, because my thinking me inverted when I heard about this. I was like, that can't be real. This cannot be freaking real. That's Spider-Man. How's this friggin' little girl that can't weigh 70 pounds soaking wet gonna play a guy who can literally pick up a tank with his bare hands and chuck that 86 tons through the air? My brain hurts. Ow, 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 ow. The more logically I think about that, the more my brain hurts. I need a drink. If I hadn't been rushing around, I would have made myself a martini because I'm probably going to need to get drunk tonight. This is just crazy. And I think that's the name. Yeah, Bella Ramsey. I'm sitting there like, no. Just no. I know why she gets the roles. And I don't want to make this a personal attack on her. I say it's, well, fuck it. The same reason that when they did the, what the hell was that? Would they walk around the red robes, the something tales, Handmaid Tales. They picked an actress who was so, for lack of a better term, mid and blah, that she was non-threatening to the female audience, and thought if they show a strong woman, that's going to draw men in. It doesn't fucking work that way. You don't tell us what we want. Well, you guys tell me what you want, and I work around it. By the way, side note, I got at least 2 folks again this week tried to actually scam me into doing commissioned work. I just looked at them. I said, here's the prices, and you have to put down a deposit. And I shit you not, both of them started saying, oh, no, be a pal, be a friend, be a buddy. Just write fuck off. It takes days. But one person, hold on. You know what? Let's hope things aren't
Game over, man. It's game over.
I know they're definitely not over with somebody who's full of Prozac and pancakes, and that's Chris Dixon. And sorry, I'm writing pancakes on right here to make sure I don't mess that up again. He says, we're here but multitasking at the moment. I finally got to see one of the new TR3Bs flying yesterday. They're strange, but kind of cool. Good. I don't get out too much in the past couple weeks, which is kind of a shame, but it is what it is. Thank you very much, Chris. Very much appreciate that. Along with Guard, Demon, Erica, and Brian. You guys are just absolutely awesome. Absolutely. And let me cycle back down here. I need that audio file of the original Battlefront, and then draw them in for me to do that one. Anyways, aside from the female Spider-Man, we got some. I don't know if you guys saw, Avatar 3 is going to be coming out in the next few months. I didn't even know they were making one. The cliches on that preview are so bad. It is crazy. I don't know if you guys seen it, and I'm not going to be spoiling anything because it's a trailer, so I'm not actually spoiling the movie. But you got literally you're rehashing the same villain. You still got the kid who's just a general screw up. He never straightened up even after his brother got killed because of his screw up. So, okay, they're rehashing those 2 points. The point, once again, that his wife, even though she really should be tending a fire and cooking things at her age, is still out there fighting everybody. But now, she has her mirror evil twin or whatever the fuck is going on, who is going to turn out to, I guarantee, going to turn out to be the lover of the same villain they've rehashed for 2 other fucking movies. It's the same villain. It literally, you got the good couple that you've been watching through the whole movie, and now you're going to have the bad couple, and they're going to mirror each other and fight. It's going to be so cinematic. I mean, granted, the visuals are going to be awesome. The visuals have always been awesome. But remember what I said about the Xbox One Battlefield for Star Wars. The visuals were great. The audio was great. Everything else sucked sweaty moose balls. It's just, it was just so bad. Just unbelievably bad. I mean, yeah, there were some parts they got right, but just, no, I'm sorry. The moment I saw a woman 8.5 months pregnant charging first into battle, no. Just many levels of no. My brain hurts. But now again, they're just trying to bring in the mirror image. They're trying to do in a third movie what they were supposed to do in the first movie when they do in Marvel, because you notice in all the Marvel movies, they always face their opposite. Iron Man faced Ironmonger. The Black Panther faced his opposite guy. You had, what was the other one? Ant-Man faced Hornet Man or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. It's always that. It's always the first one. Now, they're doing it during the third movie. I just, and what's even more cliche is the fact that the evil woman is dressed up in tight black clothing, very skimpy black clothing, and she's always walking with this strange sway to her hips, like she's inviting. I'm like, seriously? Even from a trailer, I'm seeing this. It is so fucking obvious what's happening. It is absolutely sick. They only got 2 directions to go. Either A, the bad guy's gonna link up with the bad girl. They're gonna start liking each other. They're gonna just bang the shit out of each other. And either A, he's gonna go pure native, or, which looks more likely, she's gonna join the humans. And she's gonna fight against everyone else to help all the super rich actually go to that planet. That's pretty much the only 2 ways I can see that going. I will be grateful, absolutely grateful, if, and it's a big if I'm wrong. So, on that note, let me pull up another one of the clips. And while you guys are watching the clips, I'm going to be pulling up pictures here.
We're short. Adjust up. Short! Target destroyed. Artillery barrage, sir. Artillery striking your sector. Carry on. Cease fire, zero. Armor piercing loaded. MG ready. T-34. 12 o'clock. Point blank.
All right. That was why not? Okay. Don't have too much to say. I wasn't actually watching. I was behind the scenes. All right. Before we go into the comment section, I did actually find some very, very interesting things going on. Now, last week we actually talked about how some of the Asian countries are actually bringing out technology that a lot of the folks here in the US and Europe are actually trying to hide. I personally believe what they're doing is bringing it out because they don't have a choice. Over in their areas, they are going through an extreme demographic collapse. Why? They absorbed a lot of Western ideals without changing their own. And those two don't go together. And when you have those mix, you have a very high chance of complete collapse. One of the main things is, like in China, they don't believe in anything really sanitary. They don't have a lot of laws to protect the environment to make sure everybody's not sick. So they're having a lot of women who can't actually give birth to healthy children, which is an absolute travesty. So one of the things they're bringing out is I'm not even kidding, a robot that can actually conceive and carry and give birth to a healthy child. Excuse me? How, the, what, the, where, the, huh? Was that going to go? What the, I mean, still, even if you have this, are you going to force people to actually take care of this child? How would they know that that child is actually theirs and they didn't get a zygote already implanted into this robot? And when the child is born, or if the child is born, then you're going to force somebody to take care of it. Well, what happens if the person doesn't want to take care of it? There's a lot of questions there. Are you going to require them by law? If they don't want to take care of it, they get put up against the wall and shot? Because if that's the case, that's brutal. But I have no idea what the hell they're going to do. That just, as soon as I went over, and I didn't get a chance to go through the entire article, again, time restraints. But that is just, just a couple paragraphs in, I'm just like, what? So, it just keep that in mind. I honestly think they are trying desperately to start rolling out technology that they've had since the 1950s. I guarantee they had this. It was probably clunkier than hell back then, but they've had what, 70 years to unfuck everything. Oh yeah, it's coming, guys. We have gone, most of us here now, I'm 46. I have gone from the analog age to the tech age to the information age, and now we're entering the robotic age. And that's a lot of ages to cover. Hell, my dad's gone through even more because he was analog, sure, but he was pre-analog. He's actually worked with stuff that's even older than what I've gone through. He's worked with radios that had tubes in them, you know, and I'm just sitting there like, ay, chihuahua. It's, the ages change, the faster, or the more technology grows, the faster the ages change. So don't be surprised if the robotic age comes in with a friggin' roaring thunder, and then just a few years behind it, things begin to change again. Maybe we'll get the clone age or something. Maybe we'll get the cyborg age. I don't know what's next. Honestly, we don't really need the cyborg age, because the cyborg age, the way most people think, is already gone past. We have stuff that's so small that you won't even be able to tell that they're cybernetic. unless they want their stuff to be on the skin. All right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I have here Asia running out of time, and they're putting out tech via desperation. I just talked about that, and that's more or less the end of my notes. And we're going to be going into the comment section. Let me scroll up here and get about right here. Right after Guard put in his super chat, or should I say super chat. And let's see if you guys say anything that makes me go, or makes the whole crowd go,
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
all right. Demon says, oh yeah, I found some old Battlefield 1 videos, but they're like 15 minutes each. Yeah, nothing, 2 minutes max, guys. That's the absolute limit. These 30-second ones work pretty good. Have to cut them down to small sections so you can get some clips from me. Okay. They like to take over, Demon again, says, like to take over things people love and shit on it. It's the power thing, I feel like. Yes. That's why they never make their own. Plus, I'm not sure they can. Oh, they can. They have the money, but they know everyone's going to absolutely hate it. Also, companies are also captured in their HR. More like castrated. But yeah, you're absolutely right on that. And just like when 343 Industries deliberately hired people that hate Halo. And again, I'm going to be using this one a lot. Excuse me? What the fuck? It blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind on that. Now, you're right. With the power thing is, it's kind of like the demon. Now, a lot of people say that these leftists are demons just because, you know, I am Legion, they, we, us, them, however you want to put that. If you read the good book, that's actually how they talk. But the thing the devil loves to do is she loves to take things that are beautiful and destroy them. It's never anything new. So, yes, I believe you are hitting the nail on the head with that, as far as them hating things. And it's unfortunate. Oh, captured. Okay, I didn't see you had it captured in the HR departments and must be inclusive. Unless, which, do I have a picture for that? No, I don't. Think about this. Unless you can be inclusive of everybody except certain demographics. I'm going to say that again. They can be inclusive of everybody except certain demographics must be excluded. But they're inclusive, but they're excluding people. Makes you think, don't it? They exclude the best people, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Let's see. Demons there saying Battlefield 6 is cheaters galore. I don't know if you mean cheaters as in they're hacking the program or they're just camping or what they're doing. I don't know. Let's see. He continues. Oh, yeah, that was too bad. I will not ever pre-order games anymore. Been burned too many times. Yep. It's, again, you lose consistency, you lose your audience. And that's why I say you got to keep notes around for what you're working on, especially if it's a long series. Oddly enough, with hospitality, you'd be surprised how few notes I actually had. Oh, shit. But sometimes sometimes I'm on a roll, I can do that. If I'm not, got to write it all down. You know, I'm not even kidding. You can see it's just page after page after page after page after page. You notice there's no paragraphs either. It just keeps going. I'm sorry. I know. I'm just letting you know, guys. That's why it takes so damn long. Let's see. Demon also says, oh, yeah, Bella Ramsey wants to be they, them, Spidey. Still. Huh? It just blows the mind, doesn't it? Continues. She really did good in Game of Thrones, and it went to her head. Yeah, I'll believe that. I will firmly believe that. The thing is, I didn't think she was a really standout. She did a good job. She just wasn't a standout character. And I think again, they're for some reason, just like Pascal, they're trying to push her. They're trying to push certain people. And I honestly, the Pascal guy, he's a decent actor. I don't think he has the chops to be pushed in all these different roles. I personally don't think so. If he does, he needs more time to prepare. Because God help me. I mean, in Game of Thrones, he did an awesome job. But I have no idea how long he prepared for that role. Or maybe he was just playing himself. I don't know. I think he can play other roles. I just think he can't just jump from one to another. Very few actors can do that. Robin Williams could do that. He was amazing. Okay. Clint Eastwood, surprisingly, he could jump to different roles if he really wanted to. The problem is his voice kept holding him back. Okay, I mentioned Robin Williams. Kurt Russell, holy fuck. He could do that. He could do that very well. Cuba Gooding Jr., he's another one who could do that really well. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. But still, it just, certain people can do that. I don't think they can. All right. Wars Never says, Sin, it's 5 days. The Halo ODST Helldivers 2 collab is going to start, and Helldivers 2 becomes accessible on Xbox. This game is going to be awesome. Are you hurrying to do it? Are you going at light speed? Because as we know, light speed's too slow. We have to go to ludicrous speed. It's like Demon's excited about it too. Okay, cool. All right. Demon said, definitely need to play that game again. I want to play. Like I said, I want to play games. For someone who's retired, just don't have the time. Let's see. Demon also saying the Avatar movies, there's supposed to be 4 or 5 of them, I think. That was announced when they first came out. Really? So it's a book series? I hate to say it, but I'm probably still going to see it in the theaters just because I want to see the cinematics on the big screen. When they did that one of the water, I know I've said it before, I found myself constantly holding my breath because I kept thinking I'm underwater. My eyes kept telling me I'm underwater. It was like I was looking through a scuba mask. And, if I don't have a regulator in, I naturally just hold my breath. So, yeah. It wasn't even the serious parts, and I have to remind myself, inhale, dumbass. Let's see. Guard says the reason why Battlefield 6 in pre-orders are flopping so badly is because all the goddamn COD streamers that are pretty much forcing EA to make it more like Call of Duty. No shit. Okay. I didn't know. I thought them being different was a good thing. I didn't know they're trying to merge the two together. Honestly, I think Helldivers would do even better with Starship Troopers, but whatever. Yep, get it one way or another. Let's see. Guard continues with like the COD streamers, Call of Duty, are straight up telling their audience not to buy the games because it's not like Call of Duty, which makes sales plummet because they listen to them religiously. Let's see. I don't know, guys. The gaming industry has gotten very well. If you considering we're talking Call of Duty and Battlefield, in the pun, it's getting very cutthroat, and it's just I think because the games are getting so expensive, and the fact that you have to download all the DLC and all this other shit, and it's just crazy. Demon says, used to love Call of Duty, but when they went so downhill, I can't anymore. And I love Battlefield series. They're different games with different play styles, so Call of Duty community can fuck off to the moon and back. And you know what I say when these folks go woke?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And with the dropping of All these pre-orders.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yep. Okay, Guard talking about Spider-Man here. It says she's trying to take advantage of the fact that there's a multiverse and that there are confirmed female Spider-Man. That's Peter Parker's fucking daughter. Problem being all the female Spider-Man excluding one girl with the Spider-Mech. Well, there's... And now I know there's Spider-Gwen, and I'm sorry, but when they put her with the other Spider-Man from the multiverse, and I read the comics a long time ago. I'm like, don't put these two together. Don't put these. They're such conflicting personalities. If they meet, they're all they're gonna do is argue, and they're gonna end up beating the shit out of each other. They put them in the comics suddenly. Oh, you're such a nice person. I'm like, what happened? That's a character inversion. You don't do that. They did that with the girl from King of the Hill, and now everybody's pissed. You know, they say people change, but nobody inverts like that without some serious, and I mean absolutely serious issues that had happened before. Some sort of trauma has happened to change someone like that. I've known people that have changed a lot. Okay, the majority of times when somebody changes personalities like that, it's because they were cheated on or they lost a loved one or something like that. Something major freaking happened. So, yeah. But again, just doing a character inversion, just because we feel like it doesn't work. But the majority of female Spider-Men have always been Peter Parker's daughter. It's just the way it is. He only has one kid because his friggin' spider spunk ends up killing Mary Jane. His spider spunk is still radioactive, so it slowly kills her from the inside. And because of that, it actually fricasseed her internals for reproduction. The fact that it was such a slow burn is the only reason he could have one kid. I know, gruesome, right? So she actually did say she wants a they-them spider. Oh, good God. Oh, man. I didn't even get that far in the article. I didn't think it was that bad. Guard saying all of them are adults excluding the girl with mech. The girl with the mech is like 15. Every other woman is between 20 and 40 years old. Yep. Now, the thing with the multiverse is they did a good job with one of the Spider-Man movies. One. Then they tried to do it with Doctor Strange. The problem is a lot of these people don't understand multiverse theory. If you guys want, I will print it out, and after I go through you guys' submissions, I will start doing the one that I had, the multiverse character. Okay? And the reason for he's a multiverse character is because that's actually part of his powers. Or I should say his abilities. Something he can't fully control, by the way. Hold on. Let me say this right. But that's going to depend on you guys. If you guys want something that's connected to DC, primarily, actually, no. I never got to the Marvel section before I stopped writing it. But if you guys want it, I'll do it. Anyway. Lena, yeah, I never. The thing is, the comics get kind of, what's the technical term? Especially when you're dealing in the multiverse. Now, when people looked at the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, you got to understand when you're working with the multiverse, yes, things can get very illogical, very, very, very quick. It's unbelievable how fast. Now, supposedly they did a movie called Anywhere at Any Time or whatever. And that actually showed somebody able to travel through the multiverse really fast, like mentally travel to different thems extremely quick, or at the same time, or however the hell you want to do that. Again, it doesn't make sense. Not really by the logical standpoint until you realize that not all dimensions follow the same format as us. Their laws of physics might be completely different. In actuality, our laws of physics only work at a certain level. Once you dig deeper in physics, they don't work. It's called chaos math for a reason. So anyway, yeah, I'm with you on that one, War Sniper. Oh, by the way, Sniper, this one's for you right on screen. I hope you're looking. I actually saw this and I was like, I know I was trying to get video game characters as just a CGI rendering that somebody made. I thought it was like, okay, no, that's not real. It looks almost real. Thing is, I've been on enough ranges to know the shadowing right here is wrong. So anyways, let me pull that off. Douglas is here. He says, won't be long before we have nanites repairing. Oh, nanites. Sorry. You're right. Nanites repairing us from the inside out, or androids. Yeah. Nanotechnology is most definitely a thing. The only problem with nanotechnology is what happens if it shorts. Does it leak any type of dangerous fluid? That's why when they said with the injection of the little pill with the tracking chip in it, that was what everybody was afraid of. The lithium in there, if that thing shorted out, it'd kill you. And all they had to do was send one signal and it would short out. I'm like, yeah, no. But yes, nanites are a thing. I personally I would prefer using frequencies to actually do the job a lot more naturally, where I don't need a synthetic. But I could actually see them bringing nanites for one simple reason. It's temporary, which means you need more nanites or you need different ones. Think of it this way. You have, say, cirrhosis, okay? You get an injection of nanites and they fix your cirrhosis, and when they're done, they flush out your body. And you think, well, why don't they go in there and repair the rest? They're not programmed to do that. They're programmed to do one job, which is going to be a straight up lie. And but what's going to happen is, oh, you didn't just have cirrhosis. You had chronic kidney failure or chronic kidney stones. We have to give you another injection of nanites directly into the kidneys so that they will destroy the stones so you can piss them out. Well, what happens when they're done? They piss themselves out. Oh, you now need nanites to fix your skin, make yourself look younger? Oh, here's a separate injection. Do you see where I'm going with this? All you got to do is think about it logically, and it just all comes into play. And that's why I think they will do nanites before they do frequency, because once people realize that different frequencies of light, sound, and other frequencies through a modulator, which doesn't actually use sound, people think it does, but it doesn't, actually does the work of these nanites for fucking free. They don't want that. They want something that they can charge you. Something that they can grab you by them. Let's see. Guardian says, think we'll finally get the second space age soon. We didn't have a first one, really. We're still, well, do I think we'll get out past the Van Allen radiation belt? Probably not. Not with the technology we're allowed to have now. If, and it's a giant fucking if we're able to get all that stuff from like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and what was the other? I forget the other one off the top of my head. If we can get that technology, it wouldn't be nothing. All you got to do is shield them a whole lot more. Actually, several different layers of lead shielding, and then some sort of insulation, and then lead shielding, like 3 or 4 of those, just to actually get through the Van Allen radiation belt. And the fact that like God damn, hold on, I can't talk, guys. One sec. With the pill UFO that I believe was Raytheon, but don't quote me on that. Once we get those that move at 500,000 or 600,000 knots a second, going through the radiation belt is going to be absolutely nothing. Not to mention the distortion that is around those things that make them move so fast, because it's gravimetric. You actually have to distort space around them. It's actually, I'm not even kidding the way I move my hands. It actually does distort space. You're going to be able to actually refract all that radiation around. You're actually going to go through the radiation belt and you're not even going to leave a hole. So you won't need as many layers. You still have 2 or 3 because, let's face it, if one fails, you need a backup, but you definitely need a backup to your backup. Only then will we have our second space age. Only then. Until that technology is finally released, no, absolutely not. Leonid says, I'm just waiting for anarchy. Hold on, let me try this.
I'm just waiting for anarchy.
And why not? I thought you were going to talk about xenomorphs. No. The alien Earth thing looks absolutely ridiculous. I didn't even want to bring it up, but you brought up aliens, so I'll say this. They would not bring the xenomorphs to Earth, not willingly. It's not going to happen. Reason being is they've already shown that if you have a space station or a ship or something like that, you would put the xenomorphs on that. So if anything goes wrong, you simply press the button, click, and kablooey. And you know how we love to make things go kablooey. And yeah, the whole premise on that, and plus they're supposedly sending robotic kids into face these. That doesn't make any sense. I as soon as I heard that, I stopped listening, and I'm just like, ears off, I'm out. It didn't make a lick of sense. The only thing that made a lick of sense when I heard the critics going over it is they had the young girl main character whose consciousness got put into a full-grown female android. She's like, why do I have these things? They move around on my chest. They get in their way. They're called breasts. Well, why do I have them? I'm 12. Androids don't grow. So unless they want to make a different android for every year of her life, that makes perfect sense. She just has to get used to the new body. She ought to be glad she didn't come out with a, dingle dangles hanging down there. I got to be careful what I say on YouTube. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to me if they made a robot that was that way. And that's honestly, when they get to the true cyborg era, I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes commonplace. Just as a side note, one of my commissioned works was actually kind of based on that. Bad part wasn't the story. Story came out good. The bad part is the son of a bitch would not pay me past the deposit. 3 weeks worth of work, zero money except for the $50 deposit. And that was actually lower deposit than he should have gave me. I'm like, dude, kiss the dark. I would say kiss the darkest part of my ass, but he might actually enjoy that. So, ugh, no. Okay. Up here with Demon, he says the cheaters from Battlefield 6 use aimbot. Okay, now I understand what you can see through walls and literally can't die. So actual cheating. Yes, absolutely 100%. It's yeah, that would get me off that platform so fast. It's crazy. And absolutely nuts. That's just no. The only time I've ever seen anybody cheat that bad is we were playing paintball against another squad, and that stupid son of a bitch decided he was going to run at us, and he'd be like, oh no, you got to hit me 3 times. Like, you just got plugged like 30 and you're still running at us, just clacking off shots. I'm like, that's why I told my guys, next time you see him go up and run, because he always run from the same spot, aim for his nuts. I know it's going to be really hard to hit because even a Soviet sharpshooter couldn't hit something that small, but keep going. He got pissed off. His squad leader got pissed off. We ended up fighting out there, and the platoon leader couldn't figure out why the hell we're getting mad. I'm like, sir, you watched it happen. I told you to sit and watch, and this is what's going to happen. And it happened. And now you're getting my guys because we're actually following the rules of a speedball? Fight me. Not to mention you're trying to squeeze, 18 people on a course not meant for more than 8. Yeah, things are going to get feisty. Anyway, Lena says, just had been watching Digital Circus episodes. They're doing a good job. I don't know Digital Circus. One thing I find funny, though, is the alien vlogs. Every time I see a new one, I just have to watch. They're only like 30 seconds. But whoever did that just, oh, man. That's just funny. I was laying there pretending to be dead. Then I heard somebody say, unzip his pants. I never ran so fast in my life. Oh, man. Oh, that's straight up infantry humor. That's the kind of shit we would do. Okay, Guard says here, something kind of funny. I sold a bunch of stuff exploding online. Hopefully it wasn't literally exploding. About the whole ski bitty, whole toilet stuff. And apparently the fandom hated the last episode so badly they went to dox the creator. From everything I looked up, he was literally telling people 3 months before the episode even came out that important characters in the series would be dying, and somehow that flew past everybody. Feel bad for the creator. All the dude wants to do is make a goofy ass series, and his own fandom now wants his head because he did something they didn't like, even though he gave them warning. You can't please everybody. I try, but there's limits. We all have limits. And Lena says, hold on. Okay, yeah. Lena says, just a fair warning, if you still want to watch Panty and Stocking someday, Angels and Demons use Magical Girl transformations, and they are stripper fan service. Okay. I haven't seen more than a bit thing on Panty and Stocking, and I thought it was kind of funny. It's dirty shit, I'll tell you that. From what I seen, it was really dirty shit. Let's see. Guard says, but changing the subject, God, I love the Gasser M187, Zero revolver in Battlefield 1. Went tape to the head, 2 tap to the body, and actually reliable revolver. It's my top 1-2 and 1-2 with 67 kills. Speaking of which, I believe one of these, I forget which one, not that one. It might be this one. Nope, not that one. I still can't believe you made that shot, by the way. I didn't even see what the hell you were shooting at. Anyway, you mentioned a pistol, and I saw the guy running up there. I thought that might be there. Let's see. Okay, sorry guys, this thing jumped. I don't know why it jumped. It does this. It's annoying. It's something that StreamYards does, and I don't understand it. Okay. Lena's still talking about Spider Bitch here. Spider mech character uses anime tropes. She is my favorite. Okay. Now, I will say this. I actually, when I went to watch Nobody 2 with my dad, because, we both wanted to see it. We thought the first movie was really good, and the second one was just, I was in stitches. I actually laughing so hard I almost peed my pants at some point. And yes, I know I'm busy, but I'll always make time for my dad. Anyways, some lady out there, she had just finished watching Fantastic Four, and she was a little confused. She was like, yeah, it was okay. I said, yeah, they missed one line. She's like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, they have to say that they can see that there's another dimension, and then show a picture of like Iron Man fighting or Captain America, whatever the hell they want to show. And then people know, oh, there's another dimension. Reed Richards knows that there's another dimension. The whole idea is the dimension they're in with the female Silver Surfer is an offshoot. If they read the comics, everybody knows this, that it's a different dimension. They missed that one scene. They didn't put it in that would make everything work, because at the end, when they basically disappear and Galactic blows up with the friggin' universe they're in, well, you got to go somewhere. You can't just randomly appear in the MCU and then say, oh, yeah, we're from a different dimension. Nope, that takes a little bit more explanation. My character has to do that. Okay, Demon says, you know what I want? What you really, really want? What you really, really want? Okay, it says Battlefield, Bad Company 3, but done right. I miss that series so much. Those are the only skins I'd buy for Battlefield. Loves those campaigns, and the characters were amazing. Okay, I never got a chance to play it myself. Guards up here. The only time I will ever, and I mean ever, pre-order a game is if it's made by From Software. Hold on. Is if it's made by From Software. I think you want Firm Software, and more specifically, Hidetaka Miyazaki, the very life giver of Soulsborne franchise. That guy's made a lot of stuff. He's really made a name for himself. The problem is, I've looked at some of the stuff he's made, and I see what's rushed. And I hate to say it, when he hits the mark, I mean, he hits it absolutely perfect. But when he's rushed, and that's what happens in their culture, if you do bad, you're cursed out and you're made to do more. If you do well, you're just made to do more, period. All the time. If you don't constantly show the new best thing, they don't care. It's like, what's that joke about Eve in the Garden of Eden? You know, Eve, this is great. You know, we don't age, we won't die. Our wishes are created every single time that we want them. This is awesome. And Eve says, yeah, but what's God done for me lately? And that's the way they think over there. What have you done for me lately? Well, I just finished a series. Yeah, but what have you done for me lately? That was 2 minutes ago. What have you done now? It's like, shit. I knew people who actually lived in Japan, and they say, yeah, it's just this constant crack of the whip. Guard saying, it hasn't disappointed us yet with a Soulsborne game, and he ain't going to stop until he's in the dirt. He's not going to be allowed to stop till he's in the dirt. And then I'm pretty sure God will bring him back immediately afterwards. Soulsborne joke. Okay. See, I haven't played the game, so, right over my head. Let's see. Demon says, I might pre-order Stellar Blade 2, but pre-ordering is dangerous. Is Stellar Blade on my list? It's not on my list right now, but hold on. I should say, but you never know. Okay. I would look at a lot of previews before I pre-order anything. Previews for the pre-order before you're, looking at something like that and you're something else. Okay. See, Lena says, Spider-Verse established a special rule that none of the Spider-Man characters can break. Okay, you're going to have to let us know what that is. Let's see, Demon says, I'm so annoyed right now. Discovered a mouse in my house, and that fucker is dodging all my traps. I can't seem to capture that jerk. Sticky traps, my friend, sticky traps. They can't get away from those. Even if they don't trip a snap trap, which I've had problems with before. You got 2 choices, sticky trap or poison. Either one of those will get them. Now, if you don't want poison in the house, that only leaves one other, but make sure it's away from whatever other animal you have, because the sticky traps, they'll actually get in your arm hair. I mean, just grazing by, and all of a sudden you're just like, it's messed up. Let's see. Lena says, I believe if you want to write Master Chief, you need to make him into Mandalorian. He should never take off. Man. The fact that in the first episode of that series, he took his helmet off, and by the way, he's the wrong fucking age. He should have been like 10 years older. No, sorry, I said that back. 10 years younger than he was. That's the way he should look. It's just it's absolutely sick. Because he spent like another 20 years fighting the Covenant before, you know, the series, before he even reached Halo. But it's just it was so bad. And the whole at the very end when they see him taking his armor off and you just got a glimpse of his eyes, that was more than enough. It kind of pissed off a few people, but then again, if you read the books, you know he was just a pale kid with freckles. That's like the one thing on the flashback cinematic of the making of Master Chief they ever got right. It's straight from the book, by the way. I think it's one of the best books. I have a copy right over there. But yeah, the thing is, they even said in the books that Spartans do not like being out of their armor. Even taking the helmet off to them is like, I don't know, tying somebody's hand behind their back, or it doesn't feel right to them. They get so acclimated. Guard says, I stopped playing Call of Duty when they added Nicki Minaj. What? And made her character model the only one with jiggle physics in the ass. Or hold on. In the ass. And I'm talking an exaggerated amount of jiggle physics. You know that, just FYI, the jiggle physics, also known as the jiggle factor, came from a bunch of us in the Army. We used to joke about that all the time. It just became a thing. It's the video game guys didn't come up with that. We did. They just adopted it. But still, yeah, jiggle physics. I don't even know who Nicki Minaj is, but I know what a Minaj. I know what a Minaj is. Been there, done that, but still, whatever. It's Call of Duty. You don't need some fancy schmancy jiggle over there. I don't get it. I don't know what they're thinking. Guard says, I mean, I still play the older ones like Ghost, Black Ops 1 and 2, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, including 1 and 2's remaster. Okay. Hey, as long as you enjoy it, that's the important part, right? Let's see. Demon says, unless he is in a Paramount TV show when he will never wear one. Hold on. Oh, okay. He's still talking Master Chief here. Unless he's in a Paramount TV show, then he will never wear one and even be naked at some point to bang the enemy because plot. I hate the show. Yeah. Master Chief has one love of his life, and that's it. That's Cortana. And the fact that they bastardized her character is enough that I don't even want to play. I think I got through 4, and I was like, I don't want to play the rest. I was so disgusted with what I was doing. It doesn't make sense at all. Even with the logic plague, it doesn't make sense. Let's see. Guard says that show is the biggest split in the Halo fandom space, and that's saying something because their head of development is someone who gets physically sick at the sight of a fire. What the fuck? You're kidding? Their head of development gets physically sick at the sight of a firearm. Like she got sick at a 3D rendering of one of the banished weapons during the development of Infinite because it resembled a shotgun. My brain hurts. My brain hurts a lot. Please tell me you're joking. I know you're not joking. Just please tell me you're joking. Even if you're lying, tell me you're joking. Don't lie to me. And it's just, Well, and this is one of the reasons why I can't go watch The Naked Gun, because Liam Neeson hates firearms. So if he's going to play a cop, I can tell him to go fuck himself. Actually, he just might. He might actually enjoy that. Ugh. Just what the ever-loving shit. did people have these weird things with firearms? It's just like in Star Wars where the guy was holding a collapsible stock AK-47. I forget who it was. It wasn't Space Dock. It was, I think, Sacred Cow Shipyards. They did a whole thing on that. Like, have you seen what they do to actual firearms, air guns, and stuff like that just to put them in that show? I just, what the fuck over? Okay. Demon says, Alien Earth, I have zero interest in it all. All the monster things they are putting into that one in that are not xenomorphs, but calling them the same species. Nope, not interested. Yeah, I saw that. I was confused at the whole thing. That little critter crawling up the guy's face, he didn't just reach up, grab the damn thing, and break it. I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. Demon says, if you hate the series, you should not work on it. Absolutely not. You shouldn't. But you know, or I should say, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to just look at it, it's a paycheck. And they hired me because I'm the best. Bullshit. Okay? That's bullshit of bullshit upon bullshit. I just, it's just, no. No on so many levels. Lena says, I really thought that the Alien movie should have ended with Resurrection. Yeah. The problem is, just like Dragon's Balls, that anime people love so much, it will never stop. It's been making too much money. They'll never, ever stop until it totally flops. And even then, it might go straight Star Wars and just keep making more, even though they flop after flop after flop after flop after flop, because you got people like the Bilderbergs and all those folks friggin' funneling money in. They have a complete flop and they're still making money. People don't want to go into that because you need to go into the dark web and the deep web. And yes, those are two different things. Just to find out all this. And the people that do, when they find it out, tend to disappear quick after they bring stuff to the surface. Lena says, I thought you could do anything on YouTube as long as you are trolling. It depends on who you're trolling and what you're trolling with. Case in point, I found a picture for here with the butts of Baldur's Gate with that. Well, they call her a tiefling. She's more of a demon. They totally screwed that up. Regardless, it's her backside and then some lizard person in front. I can't tell if it's a man or woman. Now, you don't see any bits dangling or you can't see the front or anything, but neither of them are wearing any clothing on the bottom. Like with this one here, you can still see she's wearing breeches. So this won't get me in trouble. They might be like, hey, it's a little too much. I can still get by on that. But somebody walking naked past and you just see their buttocks, nope, that'll get this flag so damn fast, it's crazy. But the thing is, I can't, when you go to troll somebody, you have to troll who they tell you can troll. Or else somebody's going to bitch and moan and suddenly you're taken down. Guard saying, Chun-Li is fucking stacked in the back. Yeah, well, her fighting style is almost exclusively with her legs. So, and what's actually funny is I sparred against somebody who actually has that style. And I kind of felt bad. Like 3 jabs in the nose, and he went down like a sack of shit. And he's like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, we're sparring here. He's like, yeah, but you need to use your legs. And I did use my legs. I also used my hands. Oh, that's not the way my fighting style goes. I don't give a shit how your fighting style goes. We're sparring here. You're lucky I don't take you to the ground and choke your ass out. Oh, you don't know what to do. I will say this. When his kicks connected, though, they hurt a lot. I mean, he got me once like that. Well, if he got me on the other side, I would have really been in pain. But he got me at a liver shot and just perfect that 30-degree angle going up. And I'm just like, oh, shit. I never had the heart to tell him I was pissing blood the next day. Only one stream, thank God. If it came out twice, I would have been straight to the hospital. But still, yeah, that fighting style is more of a dance than anything else. It's still work if you know what you're doing. Let's see. Guard says, "Oh God, I've seen that character model. That lady from the Kiss of War mobile ad. Kiss of War. You mean this one? I'm assuming it's this one. Or are you talking this one? All right. Now, let's see. Demon says alien technology can have infinite movies, but they all will play out the same. So not a good idea. Ha ha ha. They have a strict formula to be good, but even then, that can get boring. So not a good idea to keep it. Yeah. Keep making. Yeah, not a good idea to keep making more. That's the thing with monster movies is it's only scary once. Just like with Jaws, once you realize it's another big shark, it literally goes from the hunter to the hunted. And usually you want a long buildup before that is even possible. And you need a big showdown before that is even possible. Once you understand something, that's like if I went face to face with a black bear. When I was a kid, I would have ran like a scared little girl because I didn't know what the hell to do. Now I know exactly what to do. You yell and scream. I pull out my knife, and if you want to charge, I'm going to shove it in your neck. I'm not going to get away unscathed, but I'm going to take your big ass down. All right. I'm going to throw up here. I think the last one I got. Did I do that one? I don't know if I did this one. I need to jump over and add a photo. So I'll be back. You guys enjoy.
We're short. Adjust up. Charge! Target destroyed. Artillery barrage, sir. Artillery striking your center. Cease fire, zero. Armor piercing loaded. MG ready. 12 o'clock. Point blank.
Yeah, you guys are just going like crazy. All right, let me get back over here to the comments. Okay. God damn it. Okay, I hate when this thing jumps. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm where I need to be. Okay, guard saying, Jesus Christ, they had so many jiggle physics to that woman in the trailers. And I tell you, that's what you're going to get from the game when you actually still pictures and tiny models. Okay, well, hey, I'm sure it was great marketing. Chris says, I honestly think the insurance adjuster I'm talking with is so dumb that they would return a donut because it has a hole in it. Yeah, I could see that. It's amazing how dumb people can be. My dad was actually telling me this story. Now, he had told me this before, but this is how dumb somebody can be. And remember, these people go by commission. He was going to buy a motorcycle. He flipped through. He had a picture in the catalog or whatever. He called the sales lady up. It's like, he says, you got the catalog I'm looking at? Yep. You got on this page? Yep. I want you to look at this one here. Yep. I want that motorcycle. What color do you want it? The same color that's there. What type of wheels do you want? The same wheels that are on it. What type of seat do you want? The same ones. And I'm just like, wow, are you shitting me? He's like, I want that one in the picture. He got so pissed off, he hung up the phone. He called the next dealership like half a state away, called him up, said, you got it? Look at the picture. Yep, I want that one. He goes, okay, you can pick it up in a week. That quick. It's amazing how just, I mean, I can see somebody having an off day, but come on. And yeah, insurance folks, I've never had good luck. And I kid you not, guy I worked with over in South Carolina, his car got crunched, actually accordioned, and they tried to basically pay him peanuts. They offered him, I think, like just under $6,000. And I still remember hearing him yell on the phone saying the engine is worth more than that. The engine alone, let alone the scrap metal. And they refused to. I mean, as soon as he got his check and he went and got another beater so he could fix his other car back up. Now it's a salvage vehicle. And I'm like, how's your car look? He goes, it runs and looks brand new. The crumple zones did exactly what they were supposed to. He was okay. All he had to do was replace a bunch of pieces. And that was it. So it took him about 4 years to get everything back together. And now he basically has a brand new car. And it honestly didn't cost him all that much. The little tiny pieces did. Anyways, Guard says they're making a series where they actually land on Earth again, and humanity is pretty much collectively dropping 20-pound piles of shit in their pants. Boy. I mean, to be honest, you know that an entire ship that's pretty much an entire xenomorph hive, which has crashed onto Earth, would also be making me do that. And these in-apps are smart too. Now, he keeps going. Hold on. Oh.
What? What the fuck?
Let me get down here because we got a $5 super chat for Guardian Sage. Let me write these down before I read that. Guardian Sage. And let me get here.
My life for ire. What do you want?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Guard. I appreciate it a lot. Prozac pancakes, Guard. Sometimes I get you guys backward. Guardian Sage, MTF Guard. God damn, I can't drink enough to keep my brain going. SS Demon, Erica, and Brian. Thank you all. Appreciate it very, very much. And I hope you guys are enjoying the series that just concluded today. Oh, shit, no spoilers. Anyways. Now, here's the thing. I don't get it. If this thing crashed on Earth and they knew it's a xenomorph hive, why are they not nuking it from orbit? It's the only way to be sure. Let's see. MTF Guard says one of them literally smiles at a guard before slicing his throat open with its tail and just walk past him while he's bleeding out. That's scary as hell. Well, the thing is, that doesn't sound like a xenomorph. That sounds like a human doing that. A human in a xenomorph body or something. That's not typical xenomorph behavior. Robert's here. I made it. He made it. Yes, he did. And let's see. Oh. Autocorrect getting you there, Guard, just a little bit. Lena says, in the Spider-Verse, the number one main rule is that Spider-Man must suffer. Well, I believe that. He lost the only family he had twice. Actually, 3 times. Because first his parents go, then his aunt and uncle go, then his wife is gone. And if he's lucky, he has his daughter, who in at least one iteration gets herself off because she's facing off against the Green Goblin, where every single time they kill the Green Goblin, Spider-Man loses, I think it's his right leg. And Reed Richards has to make him a new one. The cybernetic one. Okay, Gardel says, yeah, they heavily reinforce that, and Miles is crossing distortions across multiple different dimensions by stopping them from happening. The Spider-Man who suffers the most, that in the end, Bella can play too, or that Bella can play. Well, honestly, the best crossover multiverse they could do was when they brought the 3 guys who have played Spider-Man in the movies. I thought that was cool. There was plenty of references to the old ones. They brought back the old villains. I just thought that was really good. The only one I couldn't stand is that's the reason why I didn't buy a ticket is the guy who plays electroshock therapy or whatever the fuck his name is. He is one of the most racist pieces of shit I've ever listened to. As a person, I can't watch him. It's just I can't. It's just not in me. Just like the whole thing with Liam Neeson. He wants to be anti-firearm, fine. He can go fuck himself. You want to be a racist piece of shit? You can do that away from me. And I'm not paying you a goddamn dime. So it's a shame that I ended up having to borrow the disc from someone else just to watch that movie because I refused to pay for it. Let's see. Guard also says, like with the Indian Spider-Man, who is supposed to lose his father figure, which is the girlfriend's father, but Miles stopped that, and now his dimension is trying to collapse in on itself. Oh yeah, that's good. Why is it everything has to have an anchor point, anchor points, anchor beings, and yet it's just this one person? You know, they did that with the animated Doctor Strangelove or whatever. It's the thing is, if there's that one anchor point, it must be across all the dimensions, the same type of anchor point. It doesn't, just like the whole thing with Batman. Batman has an anchor point in the DC universe as well. That's his parents dying when he's 8 years old. No matter what dimensions he's in, a family member of his dies in their arms at 8 years old. In an alternate dimension, that was he died and his father survived. And of course, his mother became the Joker, but that's a whole nother thing. But somebody in the Wayne family, preferably two, have to die. Now, if you look at that, you realize that they kind of covered two, because when Wayne, Mrs. Wayne, I think Martha's, no, that's not it. Whatever her first name is, when she lost her friggin' marbles and she became the Joker, her original personality died. So two Waynes died that night when Bruce was 8 years old. That across all of them, that's exactly the anchor point right there. The anchor point for the entire DC universe is that point right there. No ifs, ands, no buts, no coconuts. But they apparently don't understand that in the Marvel universe. It doesn't make any sense. Although I will say this, when they did the Deadpool thing, if Wolverine being alive is the anchor to all those universes, he saved his universe and condemned another by pulling the Wolverine out of another universe. So we'll see if they have any consistency at all. And like I say, if you lose consistency, you lose your fucking audience. Demon says, in the one where did even... What? Okay, I'm missing what you're saying here. Lena says, I do believe that the first moon landing America did was real. The others, you don't know for sure what the story is. The only reason I question it is because there's too much evidence against it. You know, who was actually filming outside the lander? They got a shot from like 50, 60 feet away from the lander. And yet they never showed any piece of equipment that went out and backed away that far to watch the one step for man, one giant leap for all mankind. Who the hell controlled the camera as they're launching up? That's another one. Where's the burn mark from a torch that burns at over 6,000 freaking degrees? It should have turned the entire lunar surface into glass. There's no scorch marks. There's no poof on the outside of where the foot pegs landed. All that's missing. It's all missing. It's not there. And if you look at old cinema, a lot of stuff like that was missing because they didn't think anyone was going to look that close. When I was a kid, I didn't look that close either. That's why I personally look at what they show us for the first moon landing and say it's bullshit. Now, I do have to say this. If, and it's a big if they were in fact to go to the moon, I don't think anything we saw was real. I think that if they actually did get to the moon, they did it on a separate mission, and we didn't get to see tiddly shit as far as the actual video. Because back then, everything was done on reels. Do you have any idea how fast those things fricassee when hit with radiation? And they burn excessively fast. There was no digital back then. So yeah, I highly, highly question the validity of any moon landing at this point. Demon says, I have snap traps, glue traps, live capture trap. He's dodging them all. I don't know what to tell you on that. It's a smart rat. Just be glad it's not a rat that shoots, fireballs out of its ass or lightning bolts out of its ass and fireballs out of its eyes or something. Let's see. Lena says, every Spider-Man has their own Uncle Ben moment where people close to them start dying. They can't avoid it. Yeah. Hey, Joe's here. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Lena says, I have a strange story about an ancient railroad that's made of stone. Don't know if it's true. Huh. I'm at a loss. Lena also says 31 Atlas Comet, or it's just alien spacecraft at a point producing bright artificial light. The verdict's not in on 31 Atlas. No, it's 3I Atlas, not 31. Sorry. And right now, me personally, I think it's just hyped up. I don't have anything conclusive, so I can't say too much. All I do know is if that thing is going to land on the planet, they already have contingencies to kind of drop kick that giant space rock in the nuts and send it off somewhere else. They've done it with other celestial bodies, and the only issue they had is if it's not a solid hunk of rock and it's just condensed particles together, then when that strike happens, it's going to send the majority of it away, but the rest of it's going to, there's kind of a backblast that comes back towards you, and you can just hope that it all burns up in the atmosphere. Erica's here. You haven't been very vocal there, Erica. She says, which leads me to wonder why they are announcing themselves so much. Are you talking about the some sort of aliens coming so much? I look at that as Project Bluebeam until I see otherwise. I worked for the government. Trust me, I don't trust them. I've worked with plenty of folks who by the time we were done, they go, hey, by the way, you weren't here. We weren't here. None of us were here. Do you want to do paperwork? No. Then we were not here. Do you understand? Yeah. I'm sitting there. I was like, dude, you're finger fucking your MP5. I'm not playing games with you. It wouldn't be nothing to say, oh, he didn't make it back from the mission. Yeah. Duh. I'm not stupid. Unfortunately, that's as deep as I can get with those because actually at several points I did sign NDAs. So, yeah. Let's see. Guard says Nicki Minaj, Menage a Trois, is a pop singer. One who, in my personal opinion, is way overdue for retirement, but she keeps bringing people back. I wonder how those rear end implants of her. She increased the size of her bumper. So she had a what do they call that? Brazilian ass cheek inflatables or whatever. I know it's a BBL. And yeah, that's actually one of the most dangerous cosmetic surgeries, if not the most dangerous cosmetic surgery on the planet. And that is just, what the hell? Women go down to Mexico all the time to get that done. Quick, fast, in a hurry, and they're told whatever you do, do not fly. What's the first thing they do? They get on a plane. Next thing they knew, stuff breaks, stuff pops, and they need to be taken out as it literally is tearing their upper legs to pieces. And all I can say is they warned you. but they're going to do it anyway. Let's face it. Okay. Lena says, Enterprise is a Tier S aircraft carrier, and it has an explosive flying boomsticks. Yes, it does. Has many of them. Which type of boomsticks are you talking about? Are you talking about their decoys, their flak, their chaff, or the missiles, or the extra torpedoes they carry, or all that other fun stuff? You know who you should talk to about that is the sir, if he's on here. Let's see. Demon says, my favorite thing to do in Battlefield 1 is snipe planes out of the air with the artillery truck. It would be fun. If I had some of those clips, I'd send them to you. Yeah, if you find them, by all means, put them in there. The beauty of this is all these like extra pictures, like, you know, the excuse me and stuff like that. While it's playing, I can swap them out and give you guys more visuals. Which, you know, when you get that on there, you guys don't see me in the background. I only got one screen to work with. When I finally get this moved into an office, I'll have multi-screens up. And then I can do a whole lot more. But until then, got what I got. Okay. Guard says, I solely played Battlefield 5 for the campaign and for its achievements, and that's it. Once I beat 5's campaign, I completely stopped playing it. The only cool part about 5 was the custom weapons. I'll believe that. Battlefield 5 got some really shit reviews, and I can understand why. Let's see. Lenin says, Azure Lane game is very wholesome with anime girl fan service. Hint, hint, wink, nudge, nudge. There you go, man. Or, hold on. Okay. One of these times, I'll be able to get the volume on that one high enough. I'll just go with this one.
Swing!
There we go. Let's see. Guard says, like in certain parts of the campaign, if you look around, you'll find weapons that are extremely enhanced compared to their normal counterparts. Mostly high explosive ammo or tracking shots. Ooh. Always fun to have something guide for you. There's Guardian's talk. My life for... hold on. Oh, you know what? I'll try this one.
My life for ire. What do you want?
My nieces get the biggest kick out of that one because all I have to do is go,
Oh, what?
and all of a sudden, my youngest niece, she got this huge grin on her face. And she's like, do that again, do that again. Then she realized she can hear her voice coming back even higher pitch. It's like a chipmunk that was sucking down helium. Let's see. Back to the board here. Lena says, Digital Circus is slightly based on the sci-fi story I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream. The episode 6 is called They Have Guns Now. Oh boy. They are made to play a game where they have to shoot each other. Yikes. That's messed up. Demon says, the videos of the moon landing were all reenactments. The actual landing, they actually announced that with tiny print and never brought it up again. So yes, the videos are fake for the moon landing. And until they show me something I can actually sink my teeth into, again, I will remain on they didn't get there. Let's see. Lena says, well, when they throw alien video to the public, it's both real and fake. Skinny Bob video could be real. I don't know Skinny Bob, so I'll take your word for it. Now, I brought this up before, and I truly believe that they are scared to death of the AI finally breaking the codes, taking all the data that they have that we could use to make ourselves better and seeing it dumped on the market just so we have some sort of financial upheaval. Something we should have had years ago, but they will hold on. But they wanted to wait specifically because they thought, oh, if we dodge it long enough, it will never happen. That's not how that works. The more they hold it back, the more of a drop off the cliff it goes. That's just the way it operates. But what they'll end up doing is pretending that there was aliens, claiming that they shot them down, saying, oh, we have all this technology now. Here's the technology we're getting from it. And they'll give us some of what they have so that they're free and clear. So they're not going to get sued for letting people die in mass from diseases like cancer that they could actually cure. I'm a firm believer in that. Why? Just like in Game of Thrones, I don't trust them. I trust their self-interest, and their self-interest is nothing to do with money. They have more money than they can spend. They want control. And when there's a supposed alien invasion and they say, oh, no, you have to give up your rights. You can't say anything against it. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can't do that. You can't do it. No. Just no. Okay. Where was I? Demon says, he continues, sorry. And very few people know about that. So far as I know, we went to the moon and they recorded the audio and used that for the reenactment video they made. So it was not live. I could tell you it wasn't live. Our technology wasn't good enough for that. Joseph says, I'm going to say this wrong. Pict culture, P-I-C-T, use stone groove rails in Europe. Wooden rails preserved in bogs show what it was, just not how or why it was used. Huh. Stone. I would figure any type of wood in a bog would go bad, but hey, maybe it's Cypress. Guardian says, I think you missed the game reference in my comment. It's two different unique quotes from the original StarCraft game, one Protoss and one Terran. Yeah, I probably did miss it. I know my life for ire. I knew that one. But oh, that's right. One of the workers. What do you want? Yep. I'm probably saying it wrong, but yeah. Let's see. Chris says, Erica mentioned trains, and it reminded me of a joke. Whenever I think about trains, I'm reminded of your mom. You know, I gotta get one of those. Yeah. I'm just gonna say. Let's see. Eric say, anyone getting increased paranormal activity? Well, not on my end, but I have a way of getting them to go away. Chris saying, yep, things have been very strange. Very, very strange. Lena says, you're probably going to notice that Americans are probably going to admit they have a moon base there for decades with a nuclear reactor, even though they want to say they're building it. Yeah, well, supposedly, according to the way things are formed as far as international and interspace treaties and all that is what we have now. This is what I understand. If there is a reactor built on the moon, there is a natural buffer zone that no other country is allowed to violate. This is a safety concern so that if the reactor goes, it doesn't, one, accidentally take the other folks, and two, the other folks don't accidentally cause a meltdown. However, China was saying they're going to build a small nuclear reactor and they're going to autonomously land it on the moon. If they do that, then that buffer zone is theirs. And then if they drop them systematically in like a grid formation or a spindle formation, then they have all that land is now theirs, that nobody else can touch it officially. But they start doing that, and I have a feeling that several of these countries are going to want to touch things. They're going to touch the Chinese all over in ways they're not going to enjoy. Demon says, Excuse me, something's coming up. Demon says, I really, really wanted a good World War II battlefield, but I got 5 instead. Was disappointed. Okay. See, I haven't played them, so I can't say too much more, except for the little bit I've seen. Guard says there's another one. There's another one for Batman where Booster Gold stops his parents from dying, and the whole world turns out worse. Yep. Just like when the Flashpoint, when he went and saved his mom from, was it Zoom or Zod or whatever the fuck the Reverse Flash is? Or no, sorry. It was somebody who went in, it was either burglary gone wrong or she was assaulted and then murdered. Yeah, that it's the butterfly effect. That's all it is they're talking about. Which is why when I did a time travel one in particular, you could only go back so far if you were allowed to go back at all. Actually, I've done several time travel ones. And in one case, you're allowed to go forward in time. I think you guys remember where the guy jumped forward in time 7 years and he would jump back. Almost nobody was allowed to jump back in time because they were worried that they were going to, step on a bug or something. And then suddenly everything's going to change. But yeah, that one was more of a horror story. It's probably still in the channel somewhere. I just kind of stopped doing it because it wasn't catching much traction, but the channel was just getting started anyway. The hell? Okay. But yeah, that's all they do is the butterfly effect. The thing is, a lot of these shows, not only they put up for drama, but I personally believe that a lot of these time travel ones show you the absolute worst case scenario so that when time travel is shown as a possibility, nobody wants to do it. Seriously. And yeah, that's the thing. Every time I see it, even the movie Chronicle, they did a really good job of that. And then they just shot it in the ass. I was like, why? Anyway, Lena says, well, if it's in the game, both Enterprise meets the Japanese ship Ara Ara, and you have burned my... Oh, meet the Japanese ship Ara Ara, you have burned my rear. I can't do the accent, guys, and I can't do that in Japanese either. And I do not have a female voice on the soundboard, no matter how many times I try to set it up. Guard says, I'm supposed to stand out due to the fact that nobody in the Bat family ever dies. The whole Bat family is never created, and Gotham is a literal war zone between the villains of Gotham's and their gangs. So basically the Harley Quinn show after she, basically blows everything to hell. Okay, why not? Let's see. Guard says, I think the only plus size in the fact that hold on. I think the only plus size is the fact that Catwoman still ties the knot with him. Oh, plus side, not size. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see where you autocorrect there. Now, the thing is, depending on the dimension you're in, Batman ends up either screwing or marrying Selina or Diana, Catwoman or Wonder Woman. In only one, and it's actually a webcomic, but the guy did a really good job. I think he either stopped or something happened, but he ended up with both of them. And I'm just like, come on, dude, that's just funny. And no, there wasn't any intimate acts that were shown there. It was just the fact that they were both living in the mansion. And at one point, somebody comes to his door and he's there in a robe. He's like, what do you want? And you see a hand come up one side and you see it's Selina and they're talking. And all of a sudden you see another hand come up the other side and there's Diana and they're both in robes. And it's just like, okay. The hints there. And of course they have I just got my brain screwed out look. It was, to me, it was hysterical. But yeah, the thing with him getting with Selena, she always ends up hating the fact that Bruce can't or won't change. There's something in his psyche that she just can't break. In only one iteration does she ever do that, and they both end up getting killed trying to actually save someone else, and then Damian takes over as Batman eventually. Let's see. Guard says, yeah, I got a sinus infection that screwed up my throat due to all the drainage, dude. First off, Hall's cough drops will help with the mucus a little bit. A little bit of Vicks, just a smidge, just the tiniest bit. Just dab right there, right in the middle, just barely the tip of your finger. That'll help a lot as far as keeping everything clear. You're not going to be able to smell anything for a while. And as far as infection goes, some tonic water and whatever the hell the doc tells you to take, because sometimes it's specific. Let's see. Guard says, oh yeah, I also found out I have a selective immune system, or the doctors were able to put together what was stuff like COVID, the flu, cold, usually sickness, but it takes on just but it takes on just fine. But anything infectious or sinus or allergy related, like a sinus infection or upper respiratory, my body has almost no immune system to fight it. The doctor said that my body is forced to make them whatever they give me, the steroid medicine. But after that, my body just kills off all the antibodies made for allergy. Really? So it's actually fighting itself. It says, which is why ever since I was a little baby, I've had so susceptible to sinus infections, upper respiratory infections, and ear infections, and just getting infections in general. Oh, dude, you have my sympathies on that. That sucks. That sucks. Big ones. That sucks. Some slimy, hairy, infected ones. That's as far as helping with the infections, I'm sure they've already talked to you about dehumidifier. I don't know what you can do about ear infection to slow that down. Yeah, I'm at a loss. I got very little else. All I can do is I know ways of helping your sinus clear out the mucus, but if it's just going to constantly keep going, yeah. Okay, Lena says, it's always funny when the healer in Princess Connect Redive pulls up the gun and becomes a DPS character. I've never played Princess Connect, so I got nothing on that. He says, in Batman, Bat family characters absolutely die. Depends on the adaptation. Yeah. Yep. They had the Jason Todd character. They killed him off. How many times to bring him back? A lot. He turned out to be Red Hood, and he's basically Batman without restriction. And I don't know if you ever seen Batman Death in the Family. They did a pretty good job on that. And we got a big storm going on. I can actually hear it past the headphones. They got storm going. So again, if the stream it just kicks off, okay. Let's see, Demon. I think there is one where he has a kid. Magic Bad Guy's daughter in story. Are you still talking Batman here? Because if you are, he has Damian as his son. That's always been his son. That's from Talia. And if you're talking Magic Bad Guy, yeah, that's Ra's al Ghul there, or Raz, however you want to pronounce it. And yeah, I don't remember him ever having a daughter. He had a daughter by Batgirl whenever the storyline where he screwed Batgirl. He also had I forget when he knocked up Catwoman, if he had Damien. Was that Damien? No. Yes. I'm trying to remember which one. Because he's in different times, Batman has knocked up either Catwoman, Talia al Ghul. They tried to knock up Wonder Woman, but the gods refused to let it happen. Like, she got pregnant and all of a sudden they just snapped their fingers and she wasn't. But yeah, he's in different dimensions. He's got actual children, and he slipped one past the goalie because, well, let's face it, she leg locked him and said, "Let it go." Let's see. Lena says Samuel Jackson would absolutely make a good priest if they made panty and stocking movie adaptation. I, again, have not seen it, so I'm just leaving it alone, and I'm going to take your word for it. Garth says, "Oh no, it's referring to Halo 5. Oops, haven't played it." Demon says his son Damian Wayne with Talia al Ghul, or his daughter of the villain, who is the daughter of the villain. Yep, Ra's al Ghul. Yep. He said, "I found it. Thank you, Google." I just remember him. I used to be a huge Batman fan back in the day, so I knew all of these. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes a second to refresh the brain. But yeah, he's let's see, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Talia were the three main ones. Now, in one iteration, he actually did knock up what the hell, the Screaming Banshee lady. What the hell was her name? The Black Canary was her title. I forget what the name is. She cheated on her husband with Batman. He didn't know they had gotten married like maybe a week prior. And she deliberately got knocked up by Batman because she didn't want Green Lantern's kid for whatever reason. I'm like, that's nice. Let's see. Lena says, it's technically a parody of a game. Remember, it's easier to switch to your gun than recharge your magic. That's absolutely true. And if you've been listening close on Something Familiar, they talk about that a lot. All right, first things first. Don't forget to make sure that you are still subscribed, folks. I know most of you are, but just make sure, or I should say, but make sure that you are. Also, let's see. I think I only got 4 clips this week, and I played them all. So, I'll just play this one more time. Oh, by the way, if you guys are watching that and you're wondering why the top was open, that's because that was a tank destroyer assigned specifically for that. Bigger gun, which means they had to take armor off. All right. Lean, it says, Missile knows where it is. I forgot, but it's my favorite. I'm going to see. Hold on. I'm going to take this one off. And I'm going to try and bring one up. And there it is. And this is one of the ones that I actually was probably the only thing I was able to pull off Discord. The videos, since they're all YouTube links, I can't pull them off. The system won't let me. And if I even try, they're going to flag the channel for piracy. See, Demon says, I'm sad. My doctor told me to cut breads and dairy from my diet, but that's like my entire diet. Yeah, I have too much breads myself. Like I said, starting next month, even though I'm still going to be kind of in the busy season, I'm taking my fat ass back to the gym. Let's see. War Sniper says, at some point, I will send more clips. Good. But I'm busy with things. Hey, so am I. You got no problems. And I didn't really have time to play the games. Hey, it's the same thing with you guys sending the cash. I'm never going to ask. I appreciate it. But yet, you absolutely. And you guys are fucking awesome. However, I want you to realize I'm never going to ask you for anything you can't afford to give. Period. It's just the way it is. So, War Sniper, if you're too busy, you got no problems for me. Okay, you get it to me when you get it to me. He says, we'll play War Thunder or World of Warships in random battles. For some reason, the World of Warships stuff, I don't know why the audio didn't come through. Now I test these before I even download them. And thankfully, everything that was sent came in. Leland says, it knows this because it subtracts from where it was and where it is. Why not? And this is what was sent, guys, that I got it. What is this? Wrong answers only. It's an old school Roomba. Pull the pin and it cleans everything in a 50-foot radius. If you guys actually don't know what this is, real answer is that is a anti-tank landmine, not the style we use. The style we use is a little different. You actually have to, instead of pulling a pin and it immediately pops up, and that's when you see, oddly enough, you will hear a click when that pops up like that. After that, I wouldn't go near the fucking thing. I'd rather just shoot the fucker and let it go off. Ours, you could actually unscrew it because you actually have to turn it over and put the blasting cap inside the bottom, and then you have to screw the detonator down on top and put a rod in it. And the rod's the only thing that sticks out. So when the tank actually goes over, it actually pushes over and it goes to a certain amount of degrees. So it actually goes up through the driver. Rip the driver a new one. War Sniper says, it was my recorder. It has options that were standing wrong. I already figured it out. Hey, you do what you do. I play the games, but okay. Sorry. But to hold them by everything's not truly play the game because it's fun. Well, you just play the game and call it good. Don't worry about anything. Just if you get a good spot, even if you take a 20-minute recording, if you think you did good, just look at the time, mark down the time so you can go back and cut that little piece out. That's what happens. The only people I know who make like cinematic game videos, they usually have like 8 or 9 people doing the actual videoing as everybody else is actually playing the game. Although I did see one where the guy was so interested in playing this game and all he was doing was he had all of his friends sign in. They're all flying the same type of plane. And his team on the ground is literally driving around and it's like 12-1 odds. So they're just walking through going, here's your ass. And it wasn't even close. So, and they ended up losing the game. I even called him out. I was like, that's bullshit. And I heard you actually call everybody, oh, it's your fault, not mine. No, you were sitting there fucking around trying to make a video instead of playing the game. It's your fault. So just do yourself a favor. Don't worry about making a video. Just mark down the time when you got the thing and do the editing from there. Lena says, why holodecks always wanted to kill the crew? That's just the writing thing. They're putting in drama. In all honesty, you know what holodecks are going to be used for? People to holographically fuck someone. Everybody knows that's what they're going to be used for. You know they got automated cleaners in there, and that's why they have to set up a time to actually go in. They have to set up weeks in advance so they have some holographic poontang to get. It's just like some comedian did this. He's like, dude, if I had a holodeck, I'd never leave the thing. If I was on the Enterprise, They'd be looking for me. The captain would open up the doors. I'd be jumping out of a giant pussy going, Jordy, it's time for you to see Counselor Troy. This is Counselor Troy. Just. Anyway, Demon says, Sniper, you should send in the video of you reaping his shirt while shooting your bow. Ha! That's cool. Let's see. Yeah, autocorrect's going after us all day. Anyway, guys, looks like we're pretty much out of here. We've all the way gone down. We've gone over 2 hours. And I very much appreciate all you guys being here on tonight's show. And let's see. I do have a button just waiting, sitting there waiting for me. And once again, I appreciate you guys. Final safety brief. Just remember, if you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to beat their ass. It's better to see him the next day and explain to him why you just broke his nose instead of having to attend their funeral. If your little soldier's going to the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets wet in the bush, if you know what you're doing. Also, if you decide to partake in something stronger than the alcohol, you better invite me. If I'm not there, don't do it. Just stay away from that stuff, guys. Also, just remember, critters on the road, the deer especially, are getting very, very active this time of year. And the reason for that is they're trying to bring the young ones around. So if you see one, there is another. Slow down. Aside from that, I see everybody is saying their goodbyes. So on that note, take care, everybody. And I kind of wish I had a outro video to go on, but I don't. So on that note, I'll just let this man say it.